So students, in the last video we saw about a point and then we came to know about polygons. Today we will focus on quadrilaterals. So quadrilaterals, what does that mean? Quadrilateral comes from two Latin words. Two words from the Latin language. One word is quadri and another word is later. Quadri means four, later means side. So that is how the word quadrilateral comes about. So it is comes from the word four and side. So four side, so four sides, four-sided shapes. So that is why all four-sided, all shapes with four sides are called quadrilaterals. Okay, so there are various quadrilaterals that you have already seen in around you in maths and all. Now we will start with the shape trapezium. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this trapezium, but let me just tell you what the meaning of that word is. Trapezium comes from the word trapeza. Now, trapeza is a Greek word comes from the Greek language. It means a table. See, no, trapezium looks like a table, so probably that is the reason why it is named the table. So this is what trapezium is. Now, what makes a quadrilateral a trapezium? Take any quadrilateral, draw any shape with four sides, and make any two opposite sides parallel to each other. Take any quadrilateral, make any two opposite sides parallel to each other, and it becomes a trapezium. Let us take a closer look. This is a trapezium. Why? Because two opposite sides are parallel. Any two opposite sides should be parallel. Now parallel means that it never meets. You already studied that. Okay. Now this is not the only thing that I can draw for a trapezium. This is also a trapezium. Why? Because this line is parallel to this line. See, one pair of opposite side is parallel, so it's a trapezium. This is also a trapezium. How? Because one pair of opposite sides, see, this is parallel to this, so that is also trapezium. Any two opposite sides should be parallel, and that makes a quadrilateral a trapezium. Okay, now if so in this case only any two sides has to be parallel, but if I try to make the other opposite sides also parallel, for example, if I try to make it parallel like this, so now this opposite side is parallel to this opposite side, and this opposite side is parallel to this side. So both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. That, and if I connect them, that shape is called a parallelogram. Now let us look at what a parallelogram means. A parallelogram, the word parallelogram comes from the words parallelos and gramme. Both are Greek words. Parallelos means parallel and gram means line. So you see how the word itself is formed? Parallel lines, because this shape is made of parallel lines. Okay, so what makes a quadrilateral a parallelogram? Number one, all opposite sides should be parallel to each other. In trapezium, any two opposite sides have to be parallel, but in parallelogram, all opposite sides have to be parallel and opposite sides are equal. But that is automatic. For example, if all opposite sides are parallel, then the other opposite sides will naturally be equal. Automatically it will be equal. So this is not necessarily a condition, but that is also true. If opposite sides are parallel, all opposite sides are parallel, all opposite sides will also be equal. That is a natural byproduct. Okay, anyways, so let us go back to our animation. So we have a parallelogram here. Let me just rub off those things. Okay, now if I try to make, now these are all slanted, these opposite sides are slanted. If I try to make this straight, I want to make it a straight angle or a right angle, what happens? And if I join them, this becomes a rectangle. This is also a parallelogram, but a special type of parallelogram, and that is a rectangle, where opposite sides are parallel, but moreover opposite sides are, each side is perpendicular. So rectangle comes from the word rectus and angulus. Rectus and angulus. Rectus is it is a Latin word. It comes from the Latin language, means straight. Rectus means straight, and angulus means angle. So you see, it's straight angle, because you see that rectangle, everything is straight angle, every side is perpendicular to each other. So that is why it is called a rectangle. So what all do we see in a rectangle? All opposite sides should be parallel to each other, same like parallelogram, but and opposite sides should be equal, that is the same like parallelogram, but all sides are perpendicular to each other. That is one important feature of rectangle, and that's what the word rectangle itself means. Okay, now we have the rectangle with us. Okay, what happens when I try to make, now we see that only the opposite sides are equal to each other, but what if I try to make all the sides equal? If I try to make all the sides equal to each other, then it becomes a square. That is, in a square, all opposite sides should be parallel to each other, same like last time. Opposite sides are equal, all opposite sides are equal, all sides are perpendicular to each other, exactly like a rectangle. But not just opposite sides are equal, all sides are equal. That is the feature of a square. Now let us come back to our animation. Let us go back to parallelogram. So instead of making it a straight angle and things like that, I will try to do what I try to do with the square. That is, I will try to make all the sides equal. Without making it a straight angle, I will try to make all the sides equal, like this. So when I try to make all the sides equal without making it a straight angle, it is called a rhombus. Now, so let us look at what a rhombus is. Rhombus also comes from a word called rhombos. It's a Greek word. Rhombos means something that spins, and I think that you can understand by just looking at rhombus, the figure of rhombus. So what all do we see in a rhombus? All opposite sides should be parallel, of course, because it is also a parallelogram. It's a special type of parallelogram. All sides are equal, yes, very true. All sides are perpendicular to each other? No, that is not there. So these are the things that we see in a rhombus. Now, if in a rhombus, if you try to make all the sides perpendicular, then it becomes a square. Okay, so that is all about quadrilaterals. And okay, now maybe not all about quadrilaterals, but these are a few things about quadrilaterals, and in the next video we will see more about it.